silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Call from Lori Smith.
Back up. Taking a phone call this morning from one of our principals here in Robertson County. Again, let me say hello again. This is 1100 WSGI. U-Turn Laverne, and I don't know if the call is there or not. Are you there with us, Lori? Nope. Okay. Well, we'll let her call back in just a second, and we'll try that call again. But we're expecting a phone call from one of our principals here. We've got another one that's going to be coming. Theresa Chandler is coming in, going to be live with us in studio. But what we've been trying to do is set up a few phone calls here locally in Robertson County, or not phone calls, but interviews where we can talk to all of our principals in our county. And I appreciate Jim Bellis for setting all this up for us. But today we're going to be speaking with a couple of additional principals that we are going to bring on the air with us. So we're going to wait for Lori to give us a call back in just a moment. I do want to say something real quick. I just got to congratulate my son. I haven't been able to say anything about this, but I think the announcement came out yesterday. My son, Jedediah Vivio, is the Innovator of the Year for HCA. So I'm not going to be in the classroom today. I'm going to be with my kiddo today. So I'm kind of dressed a little more casually this morning because we've got a reception for him today. So congratulations, Jedediah Vivio, the Innovator of the Year for HCA. I'm so excited about that. But we saw that announcement come out yesterday. Our daughter-in-law, they've got a little magazine that comes out with HCA. So we're super excited about that. Taking a phone call is always just a little bit awkward here. Okay. It didn't pick up. Let's try that again, Lori. If you're paying attention to what's going on in the air, I want you to get you to call back, and we'll get that call on the air. But we're going to talk with one of our principals this morning from Robertson County. Always looking forward to doing that and getting a chance just to visit with our schools around town. But I did want to take a minute to congratulate my kiddo on his big achievement with HCA Innovator of the Year. So, Lori, if you want to give us a call back, Lori Smith is with CVES, and I never know the acronyms. It's always quite funny. But, we have, I've got, the different ones. Of course, I know GHS, that's my school, and I know Springfield's because my husband is at that one. And I think Theresa Chandler, she is with CMS. I'm thinking that must be Coopertown Middle. But I'm not really sure who Lori is with, CVES. And I'm hoping she calls me back. She tried a couple of times, and I don't know why it didn't connect. We were hearing you, Lori, but I don't know. I don't know if you couldn't hear us or not, but we're going to try it again. Hopefully, Lori will give us a call back in just a second. But again, this is 1100 at WSGI. We appreciate you being with us this morning. And the goal is to have a couple of conversations this morning with some of our principals. And hopefully, we'll hear from Lori here in just a second. And, yep, I think she's calling us now. So let's see if we can't get this call answered this time.
Call from
Lori, are you with us? Can you hear me?
I am.
Oh,
I am here.
Okay, wonderful. So glad we finally were able to make a connection here. Phone calls are sometimes a little wonky, but we got it done. So good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fabulous. A little wonky makes the world different. It's okay.
There you go. Exactly. Now, I was just having the conversation that with my listeners that I don't know what your acronym of your school is. What school are you with?
I am with Crestview. Crestview
Crestview.
Elementary. Yes,
Crestview
ma'am.
Elementary. Well, see, and I know, of course, Greenbrier because I'm at Greenbrier. My husband's at Springfield, and
Right,
I think Teresa's
right,
is Coopertown Middle School. But I get the little
right.
acronyms, and I'm new to teaching still. This is the start of my third year, so and of course the acronyms that we get every year that are just hysterical. That
So different,
oh my
yeah. Well,
goodness.
and my world's just a little different because we're a K-5 elementary,
Okay.
but our kiddos actually feed into 3 middle schools. So we have some of our guys that go to Coopertown Middle with Teresa,
Okay.
some that go to Greenbrier Middle, and then we usually have a pretty good number each year that get into IA. So
Okay.
we're a feeder school for several, so kind of fun, just kind of tucked over here in the hill behind Highland Crest. So,
Well, so you will have students that I may eventually have. So
oh,
eventually,
absolutely,
yeah, up at Greenbrier because
yeah.
I'm intending on sticking around. Now I'm old, but I'm intending on sticking around for a while because I'm having fun.
Hey,
I'm loving
we
it.
are vintage, my love. We're not old. We're vintage.
I like that word. Very good, Lori. That is good.
Yeah.
Now, how should I address you? Are you a doctor?
Oh no, I'm
Okay.
just Miss Smith.
Well, a lot of our principals are, and so I always like to, absolutely recognize that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
No, no, I don't have that doctorate. Just school hard knocks. That's
I
how it works.
gotcha. Well, sometimes I got to be honest with you. That's one of the reasons why CTEs are important as career teachers is because we've gone through the trenches of a career and we can speak
Absolutely.
a different message to the kiddos. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm all for academics and for those higher degrees. I wish I had one, though I would probably want a ministry doctorate. That would be my desire.
Sure.
But
Sure.
so
Yeah, that's a
anyway,
good one.
nonetheless, I just wanted to ask because I wasn't sure. So I mentioned to you guys I emailed you yesterday and I said, what are you most proud of about your school? So
Mm.
well, let me ask you. Let's start this. How long have you been principal? How long have you been in this
Oh
position?
wow. This is year 33 for me.
As principal?
Well, not as
I was
principal.
gonna say, I
33
don't
years
think.
in
That's
education.
yes. Okay.
Now I was the one who opened Crestview, and
Okay.
so we're this is year 10 for us. Isn't
Okay.
that weird?
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was previously I taught in Murray County. I taught in White House. Then went to Coopertown Elementary, and then I was here opening Crestview. So
Awesome.
very
Well, that
blessed
is very
career.
cool. And I always like to kind of get the background of of everybody and where they went. So let's
Yeah.
just kind of stay on the background before that'll give you time to think about what you're most proud of. But
Okay.
where did you get your education?
I went to Tennessee Tech
Okay.
and then did my master's at Austin Peay. So I'm originally an East Tennessee girl from the Tri Cities. Came down to Tennessee Tech and met a fella, and so I've stayed down here in this Middle Tennessee area. But this is home now.
Okay.
Got 2 daughters, grown, and some grandkiddos, and all sorts of good stuff.
Oh, so I think we're probably about in the same. I think you're probably a little younger than me, but maybe not a whole lot. But if you've got grandkids, because
Yeah.
me too. And
Oh,
how many
good
grandkids do you
stuff.
got?
I have two. I've got a little girl that's a 4 and a little fella who's not quite a year old yet.
Oh,
So
isn't it
good
fun?
stuff.
Yeah, I've got
Oh
four
yeah.
now. And
Oh,
so it is just a blessing. But yes, it's just so much fun.
mm-hmm.
Love that stuff. Love it. Well,
Absolutely.
so now back to my question that I said, what are you most proud of about your
Most
school?
proud of. Um, I'm most proud of just the family atmosphere that we're able to
Mm,
keep here at Crestview. We have a lot of staff in and out different times because we are a large elementary school, just under 800. So,
wow.
but we really focus on trying to bring in folks who just have a love for kiddos and want to help them do their best. So we really focus on that piece. Leadership is a big deal here, trying to help the students become leaders in their classroom and help them kind of understand where their strengths are and how they, can be good at something. Because some of them, don't hear that they're really good at something and that, it may not be reading and it may not be math, and that's okay. So
Mm,
I think that's super important for everybody to understand that they're good at something.
I love that because that is one of the things that I have found with working with the high school kids. It
Yeah,
talking to a kiddo that it's obvious they've not had the encouragement they need. And
sure.
just, and I'm sure they're getting it from other teachers, but they don't get it maybe necessarily at home. And so they need to hear
Yeah,
that. They need to hear, hey, you can do this. You are smart. I had this one kid
yeah,
this year, and I told him, I said, you're smart. Who's telling you you're not? And
yeah,
he's not smart at everything, but man, some of the stuff that I do,
sure.
he's got a gift for it. And I'm like, you can do
Absolutely.
this. And
Well,
go ahead.
and
Yeah.
and it's nice to tell them too, that our big thing is you just don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah.
Everybody's learning new things all the time, and that is where, we as a society, I think, have got this horrible problem about thinking that everybody is supposed to be good at everything automatically,
Hmm.
and that's just not the case, and shouldn't be the case. We're all here to learn, and there's always something new out there. So,
For sure, for sure. So,
yeah,
as far as the school, do you have any big events and things coming up that you want to promote? Because I mean,
we,
we're kind of at that edge of going into
yeah,
fall, and I
yeah.
mean, it's there's stuff.
Getting into that.
There's stuff.
Well, and one thing that we kind of started last year that I absolutely love that is a big deal is we do volunteer Mondays. So every Monday, the last Monday of the month, from 7:30 to 9:30, we have where parents or grandparents, whoever, can come in and volunteer to help teachers do things. It may be tearing out pages. It may be cutting things out. It may be, just the simplest thing, but it's things. And we had one dad who actually brought it up, and he said, there was five of us sitting around drinking our coffee, just kind of talking. And he said, we worked for about an hour and a half cutting out this stuff and getting it ready for a project the teacher was doing. And he said, I just realized, that we had saved her 5, 6 hours of her own personal time that she would have spent trying to get those things ready. And what a gift to our staff. And so that's something that we have up on the school calendar. Like I said, we do it that last Monday of every month, and that's a big deal. And we're so thankful for our parents. Not everybody can, and that's okay. They're working and they're doing things and taking care of their family, and that's important. But if they have those hands and can do things, that's just kind of magic time for us.
That's huge. And I've had, through Bible classes and stuff, had to cut things out and the
Yeah.
tediousness of that. And I can't
Oh yeah.
imagine how much stuff elementary
Yeah.
teachers spend.
Yeah.
It makes my hands hurt just to think about it. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I had never thought
Yeah.
about that, because we have
Yeah.
in our school, PTO will come in to do copies and things such as that.
Yeah.
It's not a need that I have because most of my work is digital, but
Right.
I walked into the teachers lounge and this one of the PTO moms was in there and she was cutting and fixing and putting together these packets probably for a science class or
Right.
something that has a lot of that kind of stuff. And I thought, good land, I can't imagine having to do that during
Yeah.
my free time or my planning time. There's no way.
Right.
There's
Well,
no way
and
teachers
even
can get
and
that
even
done.
think about, especially at the elementary
Oh, I
age,
can.
so
Yeah.
many littles and things, and
Yes.
they're not at the point where they can have those fine motor skills sometimes. So
Yeah.
doing some things to help them get it started and get off to a good go is absolutely fabulous.
That's true.
We
I've just never
also
thought about it.
have
Go ahead.
a fun event Thursday night.
Mm.
We have our reading and our title night, and the title part of it is every fall we get together and have the opportunity for parents to tell us, for us to tell them a little bit about what it means to be a title school. Where we get some extra funding and things to help support our kiddos and kind of close those gaps. And so we, do things, and then there's a survey that they do that helps give us input on things that they would like to have or supports that they may need. And so we do that every fall. So this Thursday we'll be having sessions doing that. I'll be speaking and doing the title part like at 4, 5, and 6. And then starting at 4:30, we have a reading night where families can come in, and each grade level does a really cool, fun reading activity or whatever. And the fun part this year that the kids have started to kind of get into a little bit is we have masked readers. So they've done this little video pop out with 4 staff members that are masked readers reading a book, and so the kids are getting to kind of guess and figure out who it is and stuff. And that will be revealed Thursday night. So kind of fun stuff.
So kind of like the
Yeah.
Masked Singer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except they're
Okay.
reading.
So
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be people within their world of teachers and maybe
Uh-huh.
so to be people that
Yeah.
they're somewhat familiar with. Okay, I think that's super
Oh,
cute. That's a good idea. What a fun idea. The kids will get a kick out of
something
that.
fun.
So could
Oh, yeah.
maybe even one of them's parent sometimes.
Could be,
You
but
know,
this
maybe
time I think it's
yeah.
all staff this
It's all
first time.
staff
This
this
is the
time.
first time we tried it, so.
Sure. I think that's cute. I think that's adorable. That's
Yeah.
such a fun idea.
Yeah. It'll be a fun night. And it's one of those things where it's our opportunity to just kind of showcase some fun things you can do with reading at home with your kids, and just kind of do some fun things together. And that's always a win-win for everybody. I don't think parents truly understand how vital and important it is just to curl up and read with your kiddos. That 20 minutes of reading, the amount of growth it shows with vocabulary and just language skills and everything is just incredible. And my own daughter, we had a conversation about bedtime, and how when the new baby came along, they had gotten in a habit of letting her watch a video or something at night instead of reading. And she's like, Mom, I've got to, now that he's got some age, I've got to kick that out and pull back out the book. She said, because it is so good, and I want him to have that too. So that's if I can tell parents anything, it's please take a few minutes out of your busy schedule and just curl up and read. I don't care if it's fairy tales, or if it's a Sports Illustrated Kids, or whatever they're into. Just sit down and read with them. They're never too old to be read to, or to read a book together. So.
My grandkids, I've got the ones that are local. I have one that's out in Jackson. I don't get to see very often, but he'll be a year old in November. But the others, I've got the ones that are here locally are 2, 4, and 8, and they love to read. They love to read. Even the 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Now he will read
Yeah.
to us now, of course, but
Yeah.
it is just I can get a book
Oh,
out.
that's wonderful.
Yeah, I can get a book out, and the 4 and 2-year-old read it again, read this one, and it
Oh,
is
yeah.
just on and on and
Yeah.
on and on. And so I love finding new books that I think, oh, they'll really love this one, because it's just such a treat to be able to sit down and
Sure.
do that, and it's helpful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just you cannot replace that time. It is
Yeah,
just so
you can,
important.
and there is absolutely nothing better in this world than just turning everything off and
Mhm.
getting to curl up in a rocking chair and be a la and read a book. It's just there's nothing better, So
And it's so funny because it can instill a love of reading in these kiddos. And this
oh,
one
absolutely.
particular child I was mentioning that just doesn't seem to get a whole lot of home encouragement. The
Mhm.
one thing that he does do is read, and a
Yeah.
lot, to the point that I had to wrestle the
Yeah.
book out of his hands. I'm like, you got to put that down and do this. And
Sure.
but I
Sure.
love to see that he had a passion for reading, because that right there tells me that he's got a lot going on that he's not realizing, and he's just not had that encouragement. But you can just so many
Oh
kids
yeah.
have just never been taught, find the thing you like to read. There's some things you
Yeah.
just don't. I think that I wasn't encouraged much to read growing up, because I'm a farm kid and all that. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't like, I'll read, Silas Marner and all those. And
Mhm.
and not this, I mean, they're all wonderful books now that I go back and read them. But it took me into young adulthood to pick up a book and go,
Sure.
I really enjoy reading, and just can't get enough of it really now. And
Well, and I think that's the piece, is them finding
yeah.
what is their thing.
Mhm.
Finding the one piece that's something that they really enjoy, and exploring. A lot of them get into some of the funny books. There's a series called Captain Underpants,
Oh,
and
sure.
it's hysterical. But some of you've got to find, or whether it's a mystery, or whether it's about horses, or whatever it is. That's the piece that if you really get into it, it just increases across the board exponentially. So
Well,
super important, super.
let me ask you this, because I'm actually somebody who writes. I'm an author. As somebody
Hmm.
that's been in the elementary schools for so many years, what kind of material? I'm sure there's just a wealth of material out there for the kids to read. Is there something that's
Uh-huh.
missing that you think we really need this and nobody's done that? So, as somebody who likes to write, is there something that you
Sure.
find missing for students these days?
Um, that's hard to say because there is so much out there.
There really is.
Um, I mean, there is. And, I like exploring and finding some of the books that pull in the good morals and things of
Mm.
our old time fairy tales, but with a modern piece to it.
Okay.
Um, and I think so many of those are kind of fun to read and talk about. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, Laverne, that just pops in like, oh my gosh, we need this.
Yeah.
I do think, and I'm old fashioned. I want a handbook in my hand. I'm not a read on the Kindle person or anything else. I'm not a super avid reader, but when I get into something, it's just incredible. I like that book in my hand so much
Mm.
more than just a technology piece.
Yeah, and that's one thing that my kids have been encouraging me to take some of the things I've written and put them digital. But I know
Sure.
there's so many.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a core of people that want that book in their hands, and
Oh yeah.
and I'm a digital reader. I do Kindle and all of
Yeah.
those things, but I do enjoy sitting down with a book. I like the convenience of always having it with me if it's digital.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
have to sit in an appointment or a doctor's office for an extended period of time without something
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
So I like the
Yeah.
digital
Yeah.
aspect there, but I do get holding that book in your hands. And true, when I'm sitting down reading to the kiddos and reading to my grandkids, they want the book in their hands. They want to turn
Oh
the
yeah.
page and see the picture.
Well, and you when you get into a good book, you're also looking at beautiful illustrations, and so much
Mm.
conversation can come from a beautifully illustrated book. And there's actually a book that has no words. It's
Oh
nothing but
yes,
illustrations, and
yep.
it is just beautiful. There's so much there. You turn on that, not just love for reading, but that love for art and exploration, and just being able to talk to them. And that's another fun piece, is just turning it loose in their little hands, and hearing what they see
Yeah.
in those pictures. It's just fun stuff. It's
It's
good
so
stuff.
funny that you
So,
mentioned that wordless book. I actually had
uh
somebody had
huh,
mentioned it to me, and then I took and had a project where it was a basically a wordless video. They had to do imagery
uh huh,
across the video and
yeah,
tell me a story without
oh
telling me
fun,
the story, just to do it with images.
yeah,
And so I love that concept. I absolutely love
oh
that
yeah,
concept.
yeah.
We're down to just about 5 minutes here. What are we missing? Anything about your school that we don't want to make? We want to. I don't want to be at the end of this and you're like, oh, I forgot to say this. So we're I feel like Teresa will be popping in here in a minute. But what else do you have maybe that we haven't brought up or mentioned?
Mm, Nothing. I feel like we're super blessed, and I will just say, Robertson County is very blessed to have so many devoted educators across the board, across the district. And we're always looking for those good folks to jump in. Those parents that may want to do something part time, but don't want a huge commitment. But we are all looking for people that love kiddos, that want to be in the school system and work. And so that's something I will just throw out there. The days of, you were talking about being a farm kid. My intro days in administration at Coopertown, I had no problem ever finding anyone to be a teacher's assistant, because a lot of my moms had husbands that farmed and they needed the insurance. So that was an easy go to. They would be on the kids' schedule, they had their insurance, it was great. But now, especially after COVID and stuff, there's so many options virtually and everything else. We've lost a lot of our workforce that are so, essential to everything we do. So, that's a big piece I will throw out just across the board. If you have some time on your hands, and even if you'd like to sub a couple days a week, or if you'd like to be a best monitor, or anything where you want to be around helping kiddos, Robertson County is the place for you, because we've got that fabulous hometown feel and everything else, but we also have people who are deeply devoted to our children.
So you,
I think
as
that's
far as
important.
teaching, that was going to be one of my closing questions. Or do you have open positions right now? Are you needing teaching assistants? Have you got
We
how many
we
open
have
slots would you say you have?
how many staff?
No, how many
Is
do you
that what you?
need? How many are you like?
Oh,
You say
right
I could
now
really use another
I
10
think
teaching assistants, that type of thing.
well, right now I think I have one hole left to fill right
Okay.
now. We've got some folks in the process. We actually, could still use a couple of teachers. We've got some numbers that are a little bit high. The kids are taken care of well, but that's what we're still looking for.
Mm.
Those quality folks that want to be part of Robertson County.
For sure.
So.
And can you tell us? I know the process, but why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners and viewers what is the process to applying for a job?
Yes, Robertson County has a really great website, and that's the easiest way. And so much of it is technology driven now. You can go to the website. You can go, and they had it on the home page for a while, but if not, you can go to the Human Resources tab and go there, and they have a way for you to apply. You can do an open position. You can go for a specific area if you want something closer to home. You can, specifically look at the openings that are there. But, if there's something else you're interested in, you can also, call that HR department. Michelle Gluzzi and her staff are amazing, and you can jump in there with them, and, they'll help you get in the path of some things that may not be posted yet, but are coming, and, need some help. So, our central office staff is always willing to jump in and help there. So,
Well, and that's one of the things too. I like that you said that you could just reach out to HR and say, "Hey,
absolutely.
if this is some things I'm interested in," and just see
Right.
about it. And I think that's a wonderful idea. So
Absolutely.
just reach out
Absolutely.
to
And
them.
they can, yeah, and they can give you, input on things and stuff. And, one of the beautiful parts about our assistants and things is that you become part of that Robertson County Government Association. So, we have the free healthcare clinic that is
Oh yeah.
amazing for Robertson County staff. And, being able to take you or your child in and, for strep throat and, be seen and get medicine and go home and there's no out of pocket. I mean, that's an amazing piece.
That's
So,
something that people, I think forget about is that healthcare clinic
sure,
that you can tap into. So I mean, that is definitely a
absolutely.
big plus. But
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
Teresa's out actually in the parking lot. I'm not sure if she was texting me. So if she's out there,
Okay.
you can come on in. But while we're wrapping up, is there anything else that you want to mention before we wrap up our time?
No, Loves, I think we've got some of the big pieces. We just want to thank the community for always jumping in and helping us take care of these children. They're going to be the future one day, and they are amazing. I mean,
Well,
they are amazing.
and I'm
So,
excited to know that you've got some of my future students. So how long? Because I mean,
they are.
if you feed Greenbrier, yeah. So eventually you'll all have some of your
Absolutely.
kiddos. So
Yeah, you probably have some that may have been ours.
I
So,
imagine I do. I would imagine I do. What age do they head out and from elementary? Because that's one thing. Because what is middle school? Is it like fifth through eighth, or what is middle school versus
middle
elementary
school
school?
usually starts in sixth grade. Yeah,
Sixth
they
grade.
leave us. Yeah, going into sixth grade, they head
Okay.
to their middle schools. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because I mean, that's one thing. Again, new to the teaching world, so I don't
Sure.
necessarily, know for sure some of the things that you guys know very commonly. I'm so new
Yeah.
to it that I have to ask a lot of questions. So, and
All
learn all the
good.
acronyms. So now I know your acronym. You are Crestview Elementary School, and I'm so glad
Yes,
to talk with
ma'am.
you, Lori. This is just a pleasure.
Yes, the same. The same. And you enjoy your next visit. She's amazing. And Crestview or Coopertown Middle is a great place to be as well.
Well, and my husband is actually helps coach out there some, so because he's up at
Oh,
Springfield,
there
and
you
that's
go.
because that feeds Springfield. They send him down to help with
Absolutely.
middle school football. So, but nonetheless, it's
Awesome.
very nice talking with you. I'm assuming Teresa's out there. I
You
don't know.
too.
I haven't seen her yet, so we'll just go ahead and I'll go ahead and do my break, and we'll let you go and get on with your day. What time
All
do y'all?
right.
What time's your bell ring? What time do you got kiddos there? Are you there now?
Well, I'm here now. I actually came to the car for some quiet. We open the doors at 6:45, so
Oh
we're
my
we're
goodness!
bright
So
and
you got a
early.
house full. I'll let you get going then. God bless you. You have a great day.
Take care, hon.
Thank you, thank
Bye.
you, Lori Smith. She is with Crestview Elementary. Enjoyed speaking with her, and I love that we're doing this. I think this is just such a fun thing that Jim Bellis has set up. That we're going to be speaking with all of our principals. We've got it set up. We're going to get a chance to visit with every single principal. So we're really hoping that everything is going to work out. Like I'm saying, I don't know if Teresa's here or not. Theresa Chandler is from Coopertown Elementary, so I'm hoping, or no, Coopertown Middle. And I think she's here. I'm not really sure. I can't get up and go check. That's one of the things when I'm on the air in here. If you're coming on the show, you just got to come on in. There she is. Teresa, come on in here. Come on in here and sit down. You're at the right place, and we'll have you pull the door too as you get settled. And as you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and do my break. We're going to talk about Veterans Motorplex, our friends up in Greenbrier. One of the best kept secrets around is the Old Highland Rim Speedway. I got to say Veterans Motorplex at the Rim because they tie that the Old Highland Rim Speedway into the name. And if you're going to follow them, you're going to want to do that on Highland Rim Speedway. We want you to follow them on social media at Highland Rim Speedway because everything that they talk, if we have rain this weekend, that's where you'll find out about a rain delay or a cancellation. They had the big Shriners not a couple of weeks ago. They had to cancel because it was storming at race time. So that does happen. Right now, though, as right now, weather's looking good for the weekend. They race every Saturday through October. The racing season is March to October. They always come on and advertise with us while racing season is going on. So you know what's going on because this is one of the best kept secrets in Robertson County is we've got this fabulous racetrack. It is at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. It is the historical Highland Rim Speedway. They want to invite you to come out. Bring the whole family. It is a family fun atmosphere. A $40 ticket will get up to 6 kids and 2 adults. A $40 ticket up to 6 kids and 2 adults in for a $40 ticket price. Regular tickets, I think, are $15. $12 ticket for seniors and students. I forget all the breakdown of it, but they've got some special ticket prices for you. And if you have questions, you can call them at 615-430-3135, 615-430-3135. On the schedule for this weekend is part 2 of the big doubleheader. It is the Legends and Bandoleros doubleheader. So they had the first race this past weekend. The second one is this coming Saturday. You want to be a part of it. It's going to be a big time. A lot of fun, great concession stand. You will have a blast. If you haven't been to the races, you do not know what you're missing. It is a good time, and it is at the Old Highland Rim Speedway. This is Veterans Motorplex. Veterans Motorplex at the Rim. Veterans Motorplex at the Rim. Get out there before the racing season is over and let Jerry know U-Turn sent you. And as we continue on with the show this morning, we are talking with our principals, as I mentioned, and we've got this morning. I'm going to need you to get right up on that microphone for me. And thank you. It was so funny because whenever we're doing the show and stuff, I never come off the air, so I never have anything recorded, and so it's all live. And so I'm sometimes trying to text and talk and do all the things. So I apologize. I didn't see your text. I was talking with Lori over at Crestview Elementary. We had her on via phone. Now, are you a doctor, or because I want to make sure because I know a lot of our principals are.
No, I am not a doctor. I just have my master's degree and then a few courses past that.
Okay, I got you. And that's one thing I'm finding is there are just as many principals that hold masters and not doctorates. But I just want to make sure and honor that because that's a big deal. If you get
It is. It definitely is. I always try to honor that as well.
Yeah, I found out one of our our Dr. Gibson, our one of our ag teachers was a doctor. So I'd been calling him Mr. Gibson. I'm like, no, man, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm going to honor that, man. That's a lot of work. But you are. How long have you been in touch? How long have you been in charge of the principal in charge of Coopertown Middle?
This is actually my first year
Oh,
as
God
a
bless
principal at Coopertown Middle.
Oh my.
I did teach at Coopertown Middle about 12 years ago,
Okay.
or just a couple of years before I went to Springfield High School.
Okay, so that's your background. You were at Springfield. So is this your first tenure as a principal, or did you serve as a vice
No.
principal at Springfield?
No, this is actually year 32 for me in education.
Okay.
Prior to this, I had actually been in Cheatham County, and I was assistant principal at Cheatham County High School for a while before coming to Robertson County Schools.
Okay.
And when I was at Springfield High School, I was in RTI. I was an RTI coordinator, basically, when I
What
was
is
there.
that? I don't know the
So
acronyms yet.
response to intervention is something that we do here in Tennessee, that we basically look at student data and we provide intervention to help them grow to get to their academic level.
Okay, and that has a lot to do with IEPs and things like that.
Well, it's prior to special education. It's what we do to try to help meet student needs without them having to have an IEP, and they do not have to have a disability in order for us to provide RTI services.
Okay, and that's something. All these acronyms, guys. Oh
No, I'm so sorry. I'll try not to use them.
No. Listen, I'm a teacher. I got to learn them. It's so funny. I try to start my morning off with devotional type stuff, and I was listening to. There's a preacher out in Hendersonville, Centerpoint. Jason Ball used to be a history teacher. And I was listening to one of his podcasts this morning, and he was talking about teacher acronyms, as a matter of fact. So I started my day in the little devotional time I had listening about teacher acronyms. I thought, I'm going to get baptized with it this morning because
it can be terrible.
Well, because it's so funny because Jim Bellis, our communications person, communications director, I suppose, at the school, at Robertson County Schools is his title. But he is, he sends me the list of the principals, and when you're coming in, it's all acronyms. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I had no idea what Crestview Elementary was. And I knew yours because my husband is one of the assistant coaches for football. And so that's my husband.
Oh, I did
Mark
not
Vivio is
know
my
that.
husband. Yeah.
Yes, he's so wonderful.
Well, thank you. I agree. He is, we're having a blast. He and I both, we say, and we retired into teaching. We retired from our careers and we're doing other things and kind of piddling here and there. And, we just, when the opportunity, was made aware, we were like, yes, we want to do that. And I encourage others, if you're, coming out of careers, maybe I've got my friend, Mr. Mr. Valines up at Greenbrier as well, that is teaching English. Now that's a lot. Being a career teacher versus an English or math or science, but if you can do that, man, we need you.
Yes,
so
we do.
If that's in your wheelhouse, come on, we need you. So retiring to teaching. Let's kind of start there. That's kind of where I ended up with Lori. What do you need right now at school? Are you short teachers or do you need teachers' aid? Let's start there. Where are you as far as staffing? Are you needing staff right now, or are you about fully staffed, do you think?
I'm short one special education teacher.
Okay.
And 2 special education assistants.
Okay.
But other than that, we are fully staffed.
Wonderful.
Yes. So
good to hear.
we have been very blessed, and we have a lot of wonderful people that we've been able to hire this year.
That's great. Because, that's one of the things where I talked to some, they say, well, we've got classrooms are a little bit full because we're needing another teacher in this. And so y'all have been able to get that spread out. So what are the class sizes these days? I don't even know. I know we have very specific guidelines with CTE that we can't exceed 24, 25. So what is it for middle school classes?
Well, most of our classes right now are ranging from 24 to 27 students.
Okay.
So I feel like we're doing pretty good. Unless there are classes that require a lower ratio, then we're meeting all of our ratios that we need to be meeting this year.
Excellent. What is the thing you're most proud of at Coopertown Middle?
Well, there's lots of things to be proud of at Coopertown Middle. One of the things our volleyball team actually just recently won the county championship.
Congratulations.
So proud of them because we actually entered as the last seed. And to me, their teamwork and their dedication and being willing to work together as a team to come from being the last seed to first place is an example of what we are at Coopertown, is that we stick together and we build ourselves and support each other to be the best that we can be and overcome any obstacles that may be in front of us. And the relationships that we're building there are absolutely incredible, and we're all growing together.
That is wonderful. And so congratulations, girls. I'm guessing it's girls. Yeah.
Yes, girls
We
volleyball.
don't have boys volleyball, do we?
No, ma'am, we don't. But Coopertown Middle actually is starting a wrestling program this year, so we're really excited about that.
Fun. And that's the time there's wrestling signs all over Greenbrier because that's just a very big thing at Greenbrier to have it. And you feed Springfield though, because I'm trying to keep it all straight. Because I had Lori on, they actually, because they're in elementary, but they feed you guys
Yes, ma'am.
and Greenbrier and then, Innovation Academy.
Yes.
So she feeds those three schools. See, that's what people don't realize is the way it all, and I had no clue until I started working in the school system. Because when my husband got hired at Springfield, they had a coaching position open and he applied for that and they said, yes, we want you to go work with the school that's feeding us.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why he ended up coming down because he's teaching at Springfield and they're like, but he's coaching at Coopertown. I'm like, that feeds Springfield.
Correct.
Like, oh, and he loves working with middle school kids.
Yes.
Loves it. And, he just, I just can't say enough about getting to teach. You guys just have no idea what you're missing. If you have not gotten into the school systems, whether it be as a sub, maybe you want to drive a bus. There you go, Josh Heinerman. If I ever talk jobs, and don't forget to mention bus drivers, Josh Heinerman will just, he'll call me and yell at me. No, I'm kidding. He wouldn't dare. But we're friends. But I do like to put that plug in there because we just need all sorts of positions and special needs. My goodness, that's a huge need, and what a calling.
It is. It definitely is, and we're so blessed that that we have a comprehensive development class at our school, which is CDC, also called that, and that is fully staffed for us. And we have so many wonderful children in that room, and I love going and visiting them and seeing them out and about in our building and in our other classes. And it brings you so much joy to go and to work with them. And it is amazing. And the adults that work with them are gifted, so gifted.
Yeah, we have Lauren Gray. She is just, oh my goodness, she's amazing. Got to be really good friends with her. And I just, to see the things that they do for these kids and the way they love them, it's just so special. And one thing too, having a good special needs program, if you have kids with an IEP that are able to be in with the rest of the classes, that's such a blessing. But sometimes you hit questions, and to be able to have those special needs teachers that you can go, how do I navigate this? What can I do to help them feel more a part of the classroom? And what they do is amazing. It is just amazing. But we're talking with Theresa Chandler. She is the principal at Coopertown Middle School, a school that I'm familiar with because of my husband's work there. You're talking about your team and being proud of your volleyball team. From an academic standpoint, do you have something that you're like, man, we're doing this and we're doing it really well? Is there something academically that you would say this is something something that's maybe changed, maybe a program you've implemented, anything like that you want to share?
Well, right now we are really focusing on our standards and strategies to help our students grow and master all the standards. But one of the things that I'm really excited about at the last board meeting, it was shared that Ms. Ford, one of our science and social studies teachers, received a recognition for she, along with her student Haley Robinson, exceeded expectations in science this past spring on the 2024 TCAP, and we were just so proud of them for staying focused and exceeding those expectations. And we are really digging down and supporting our students through extra, reteaching and intervention time, enrichment opportunities. One of the programs that our students are extremely excited about is our career awareness and career exploration class, that they cannot get enough of that class and all of the opportunities that it teaches them that they have, that they can do in their future, and look forward to that.
I love that. And I had the opportunity to go and kind of sit in with, at one of my professional development days, our CTE director, Mark Gregory, sent me down to IA Academy to kind of, they have a broadcast aspect of it. And so I was trying to kind of help them see the things that they could do in regards to that. And I got to see all those cool things that they were doing. And what a blessing that is, because the renewal focus on looking back into, I mean, college isn't for everyone. And we had a push for so long that you got to go to college, got to go to college. Well, no, you don't. There are so many, and we want you absolutely go to college if you need to. Every one of my children have degrees, and they needed their degrees for what they do. But there's so many career options out there. I had one of my seniors, I have a senior cat time, and I just hadn't heard him say anything about what he wanted to do. And so when they don't kind of volunteer it for me, I really start picking, and I was like, okay, let's talk. What are you doing? And I've got just 2 or 3 still that you need to be thinking about this. Graduation's going to be here soon. And it was just so interesting to hear him. I'm interested in welding, and he's in a welding program now. And I'm so thrilled. And there's so many things like that kids don't even, you ask a kid when they're in middle school, what do you want to be when you grow up? There's so many things they're not considering because they don't even know their careers. And that career exploration class, it's wonderful. What grades look at that? So is it just your 5th graders? Or
No, we have grades 6, 7, and 8.
6, 7, 8, that's right.
At Coopertown Middle.
That's elementary.
Our 6th graders at Coopertown Middle are allowed to participate in it, and it's career awareness at that point in time, and then it turns into career exploration for 7th and 8th grade.
Okay.
And right now they're actually doing an aviation unit. They, Miss Dean is the teacher of that class, and they actually have like a flight simulator. They've been flying drones, and they have been exploring the different career opportunities that you have in aviation.
People have no idea of what the drone technology is. It is fascinating. And bringing drones into the classroom, I know that getting those and getting their hands on those in middle school, by the time they get to me, because I have drones, for videography, and I know they're bringing drones now into the criminal justice program at Springfield. So to have those kids already know how to not crash one.
I know, that's the big thing. I know Miss Dean the other
Yeah.
day, she was like, I was like, get it over here. If it goes down in the field, we can't get it. Just really trying to make sure they that's quite a skill for them to learn, and it's a lot harder than what it looks. So, but the kids just absolutely love it so much, and they are excited about learning it. They're excited about learning opportunities for their future. Now, I will say that we're always looking for, like, we would love for a pilot to come and talk to the kids about their career. Anyone else who has a career in aviation. I think it's so important that our community members come in and share their work experience and share their road to their what they're doing and what their career is, and what that path looks like. So if there's anybody listening that would love to come and share that with us, we invite you to please come and share your career with us so that our students know what opportunities they have to look forward to.
Well, we have a wonderful airport here locally that's a phone call I need to make. I need to get them in to get an update on what they're doing, because if that'd be a great field trip.
It would be. It definitely
and
would be.
A wonderful visit. We have a cool little airport out here, and it's not really nothing little about it. They bring big planes in. It's pretty awesome what can land here at our airport.
Yes, I have been there. I love it. Yes,
it's cool. It is really cool. We've got a neat airport. So we're talking with Theresa Chandler. She is the principal at our Coopertown Middle School, and let me go ahead and do my break, and you can kind of look through your notes and see the things we haven't talked about that we need to mention, and that'll be my question when we come back. It's like, okay, what have we not mentioned that we need to make sure and share with everyone before we finish up? up because we're in the last 10 minutes this morning. It goes so quickly. But we do appreciate you joining us, and we do appreciate you talking to our sponsors. Reach out to our sponsors when you have questions, because that's we appreciate them making this show possible. Barry and Rebecca Richards, they've been on as long as anybody. They are really one of our oldest full-time sponsors, and we appreciate them so much. And if you have questions in real estate, they are the ones you can go to. They would love to mentor you because they both came out of different careers. I think that's one of the most interesting things about them. They didn't set out to be realtors on the front end. She came out of a radiology background many years ago. She's now been at it long enough that she's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. We'll talk about what the significance of that in a minute. But Barry is the marketer. He was a vice president of a media marketing company, and he knows all about that stuff. So when your property's for sale, you need great videography, you need drone footage, you need photography, you need somebody that knows how to present those walkthrough tours. He can present all that for you so people don't miss your property. So when they're flipping through, they don't have to, it will pop and it'll stand out. And that's how you get people to come and look at your listing. As far as the seniors real estate specialist aspect of it, with Rebecca, if you're somebody that you've got land, maybe you've got family land and the kids have moved away, there's nobody set to take over the property and you want to downsize. There's a lot of ins and outs to that. How do you handle that? How do you maneuver that? Rebecca's been specifically trained to help you with that aspect of your property. So you can call her if you have any questions. They are here in Robertson County, cross-Plainians, we like to call them, for nearly 30 years now. But they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. They're from Kentucky like me. They've worked all over, so they know the area so well. Any question you have, Barry's the broker here in downtown. She has an agency office out of White House. They're still part of the Exit team, but they started a new branch in the tree. They are Exit Prime Realty. You can find them at Exit Prime Realty, Barry and Rebecca Richards, or give Rebecca a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Check them out at sellwithbecky.com or buyrobertsoncounty.com, but always, please let them know. And we're continuing I think it's the first Tuesday of the month is what we've got set up. So we'll be hearing from some more of our teachers next week. But the first Tuesday of the month is when we have set aside to hear from two principals across, and I said teachers, but principals across the county. And today we are visiting with Theresa Chandler. She is with Coopertown Middle School. What have we missed? We've got about 7 minutes here. What do we need to
one
cover?
thing that I'm really excited about is that we have a newly elected student council. So this year at Coopertown Middle, we have elected our student government. We're looking forward to our students stepping up into those leadership roles to helping guide our school to become what they want to build it to be. Okay. We think it's so important to have our students involved in the school and to help steer us and to help them become invested in it so that it's a place that they want to be and that we will be successful academically and socially. We want them to be a part of school life so that they enjoy it and it meets everyone's needs and what they want out of it.
Well, and it would get them ready to run for class office when they move on up.
Yes, definitely. You know, government is another important life skill that we need to learn about and how government works and how to appropriately voice, you know, what you want and what your needs are and to advocate for others and share those views. And so I'm really looking forward to their input and seeing what they have to say and seeing where we go with that.
Very good. Anything else that you have on your list there?
Yes, actually, I do, because there are so many wonderful things. Yes. Right now, we're getting ready to send out invites for our beta to get that started up. We have a very strong FCA run by Miss Dean, also at Coopertown Middle School, and then we're thankful to have our PTO and our athletic boosters that are very supportive of us, and that can't happen without our parents. Our parents being involved in our school and coming to events or helping make important events happen. It takes everybody working together, and we love hearing from our parents and having their input on what they want to see Coopertown Middle become and the things that they like or the things that, you know, any suggestions that we have, we are always open to their input. And then on October the 22nd, we have a Title I night coming coming up. We're really excited about that, where we get to share what it means to be a Title I school, which is what Coopertown Middle is. And we're hoping on that night to have a little dodgeball tournament and have our parents play with us. We want our parents to play along with the kids and just enjoy some good family time together.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
So.
I don't know what Title I means, quite frankly. Can you briefly explain that to me?
Very briefly, so basically schools that have a specific poverty rate within their school qualify for Title I funds to help purchase different, whether it be a lot of our funds are actually spent on faculty to help meet the needs of our students to make sure that they have what they need to be successful.
Okay. So it's just a different state classification as to what the needs are of the school.
Yes.
Okay. Because I hear those things all the time. I have no idea what they mean. As a new teacher, there's just so much to learn, and but it's just such a beautiful thing.
Yes. On that night, we'll get to share all about it and share what funds we get and from the state and how we spend those funds, and we really want our families to be there to be a part of it so that we can tell them what it means and how it impacts their children.
Very good. All right. And talking with Theresa Chandler, she is, again, our middle school, Coopertown Middle School principal. How many vice principals do y'all have?
We have two.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Neitz and Miss Beck. They are new to Robertson County Schools this year. Mr. Neitz comes to us. Well, they both actually come to us from Sumner County.
Okay.
Mr. Neitz was at Liberty Creek High School, and Miss Beck was at Beach High School. Miss Beck was an academic coach there and leader, and then Mr. Neitz had spent 1 year at Liberty Creek teaching algebra, but he came to us actually previous to that. He was in North Carolina as an assistant principal there for 4 years.
Okay, wonderful. What else are we missing? We got about 3 minutes.
Well, right now, actually, they just came and they're surveying some of our land there at Coopertown Middle to look at building another field there. And we just got actually a set of stands in our football for our football fans, which was amazing this year. I know our fans loved sitting in the stands for those football games. So we're really, really excited to have those additions. But we're getting ready to actually next Friday, that Friday before we have fall break, we're going to have a celebration day to celebrate our students who are coming to school regularly and making great grades and are on point with where they need to be. So we're getting ready to celebrate them also, and we're excited about that.
So we call that Renaissance at Greenbrier High School. Thanks to Samantha Grimes, that Renaissance program. That's what that does. And I love that we have a program that does celebrate the academic achievements, being on, coming to school and doing those things. The kids, they do the right thing, and they don't really get any kind of acknowledgement of "we appreciate you" unless they're the athlete. You mentioned they're putting in a field. What kind of field is it? Is it just a multi-use field for soccer?
When they built Coopertown Elementary School, the softball field, baseball field there, they had to use that property.
Gotcha.
And so they're surveying to see if they could put that field over at Coopertown Middle School.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, very good. Well, we're just the same as out of time. Is there anything else?
No, that is it. I just thank you so much for your time and inviting me.
Pleasure.
I've enjoyed it, and I'm very proud to be at Coopertown Middle School.
Awesome. And I'm sure your door's always open, right?
It is. Yes, it is.
We have big open door policy here at Robertson County. So if you need anything in your schools, if you're new, just knock on their door, make a phone call, leave a message. They'll get your questions answered. And I have found that across the board in everything I have touched with Robertson County schools. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
And my husband's talked very highly of you, so I'm very tickled to actually get to meet you. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of One Street Over. We appreciate you being a part of everything we're doing here. Now, tomorrow is the day for us to meet with our veterans. Veteran Service Office will be in. So if you have any questions about veterans, anything going on with the veterans in your life, tomorrow's the day to get your questions in. So we'll be hearing from them.